Hi guys, it's Melissa. Haven't made a video in quite a while now. I think it's been about 6 months, but I wanted to come on here and say hi to everybody and give you all an update on what's been going on and what's about to be going on. And yeah, so most of you, if you're subscribed to my blog, I'm sure you remember that my husband and I did IVF last year in May, and it worked. We were pregnant. I was pregnant with a little boy, and I only made it to 19 weeks. And basically, I had no warning at all. I just woke up one day and got in the shower and felt pretty normal until I got out of the shower. And basically, without going into too much detail, my cervix was wide open. So I called the doctor and they told me to go to the hospital, that obviously what I was feeling was not normal. So my husband and I were actually visiting his sister in Brooklyn, New York at the time. So we hopped in the car and we drove over to Beth Israel Hospital in Manhattan, which is not a very clean hospital. I always thought Beth Israel was, a big name and that it would be this fancy hospital, but not that clean. And the staff, I'd say 70% of them were on the ball, all there. Anyway, I can't complain. They did take good care of me. But I wasn't there an hour before it was over and done with. And it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. I've had a lot of anxiety since then. Basically, my anxiety started that day, like when I left the hospital. My blood pressure had been fine. My whole pregnancy, it was fine that whole day, even with what I was going through. And then right before they were discharging me, it shot up and it was in like the 150s over 90s. And it stayed there for a few months. Like every time I checked it, sometimes it would be in the 140s over, 89 if I was lucky. But yeah, it was up pretty high. And I think a lot of it stemmed from obviously the stress of what happened. But I had a lot of stress when I was pregnant anyway, because I don't know if any of you remember, but I had heart palpitations and I had them every day, all day long. And it was really, really stressful and really discouraging because, I thought something was wrong with my heart, and it just was really unpleasant. I mean, you feel like your heart is skipping a beat. Like, it's hard to fall asleep at night because you're laying there and you feel every single heartbeat, and then you feel when it skips, and it just, it's unpleasant. And I pray every night every night I pray every day, all the time, that, next time I do not have the heart palpitations. And I don't know if I will or if I won't, but at least I know if I do that they're perfectly normal. I've had 2 EKGs, I've had blood work, I've had a Holter monitor that I wore for 24 hours. I did a stress test, and everything. I had a chest x-ray. I mean, everything looks perfect. I mean, the Holter monitor that I wore for 24 hours, if you don't know what that is, it's basically an EKG you just wear for 24 hours. And you make note of anytime you feel the palpitations. And it's funny because I asked them, I'm like, how am I supposed to make a note of when I feel them? Because I feel them all day, every day. And they just said, if you feel some that are, more noticeable than others, which, I don't know. If you've ever had heart palpitations, you know that that's amusing because you feel every single one. But anyway, they saw plenty of the palpitations, and what they're called are PVCs, or premature ventricular contractions, and they're perfectly normal. I had a lot more than most people get, but I think just the stress level and just the stress level was making it worse. Maybe some like dehydration, but anyway, I had a lot of stress since we lost the baby. But I will say that God has been really, really good to us, and we have the most wonderful church family. The whole month after, we had so much food. We had more food than we could eat, and like 10 of our friends. I mean, we had chicken and pot pies and a roast, and we had 2 apple crisps. Somebody brought us cake, homemade bread. There was so much food, and it was really, really good. We had, company. Our pastor came over with his wife, and it was just really, really nice. It was probably the only thing that could have comforted me at the time, aside from my husband, was having our church family just be so Christ-like towards us, and it was just wonderful. And I still, he's given us grace through this and peace. I know where my son is, and, hopefully it'll be a really long time before I see him, but if not, that's fine too. But I know that I will see him again, and, so it'll be nice to get to know him since we didn't get to. Anyway, so currently I am back in school. I enrolled in an engineering program at a school near us, so right now I'm doing lots of math. That is not the most pleasant thing, but it's satisfying. And we are thinking about trying again, possibly in May. I've got a couple of doctor's appointments in April, and as long as those appointments go well, we are going to get back in touch with Boston IVF. That's who we used last time, and try again. We have 3 vials of my husband's his sperm. Wow, that was a Freudian slip if I ever heard one. So we have 3 vials of his sperm frozen, and he won't have to, do any work this time. Excuse me. But I am going to have to go through all the shots again and do the egg retrieval, because we didn't have any embryos to save for next time. So I'm not looking forward to that, because the egg retrieval process is not the most comfortable thing to go through. The shots are not a big deal, but the surgery and afterwards was kind of uncomfortable. But it's all worth it. I'm a little bit nervous for next time, because we think it's incompetent cervix, because I had no warning, and if that's what it is, there's a good possibility it will happen again. But at least this time we know to expect it, so they'll be doing ultrasounds very early and every week, checking to make sure that the cervix stays closed and hopefully nice and long, and keeps the baby or babies up in there. If something does start to happen with the cervix, there are things they can do, and they can do a stitch or a band to keep it closed. And I read last night that it's got like an 80 to 90% success rate, and I do read the blog of someone who was pregnant with twins, and it happened to her. She was put on bed rest, and they did a cerclage, which is what they call the stitches they can do, and it worked perfectly. There are risks involved, but I think the benefit definitely outweighs the risks. So that's that. So I hope you're all doing well. I do watch your videos. I know I haven't commented. I commented on one of Nikki's the other day, but it's been difficult. I'm not gonna say I've watched every single video. I try to watch them, but anyway, I'm back. So I'll start commenting again, and you'll probably see more videos from me, because I did find this to be a really great outlet and a way to connect with other people going through the same thing. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and I look forward to talking to you guys more. And I'm right about at 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop the video now, but see you soon. Bye.